You have to do is you have to have toughness. All right, you got to be tougher than everybody that we play. All right, but you know, I've never stood up here in all the time that I've been here and ever really defined toughness for you. The way I'm going to define toughness to you, because I'm talking about mental toughness and I think everybody can relate to it, is it's all about what does it take to break you. And the reason I come to this is we had to put hurricane windows in our house in Florida on the beach. All right, so I asked the guy, how do you figure out that these windows are better than those windows? What does it take to break them? All right, so if you really think about toughness and mental toughness, what does it take to break you? I don't care what circumstance you're faced with. What does it take to break your focus because you get frustrated about what happened on the last play? What does it take to make you give in because it's hot outside, or you're tired, or you don't feel like running to the ball or giving effort or finishing the play like you should because of how you feel, whether you're a little bit hurt? What does it take to break you? I'm not saying it's our goal to try to break you. It's just the way it is in football. When you go through camp, it's going to be difficult because you're getting yourself ready to play an entire season at a high level. So everybody here has got to have a lot of mental toughness to be able to sustain what we do at a high level. And just because you got beat on the last play, that can't affect your next play. All right, or that's breaking you. Your frustration is breaking you. Just because you miss a block, or you get blocked, or you miss a tackle, or you fumble the ball. What does it take to break you? We broke Waddell last night. You know, I say this to every team, and I give them this sermon every team in the beginning of the season, because I want them to relate to this. You know, if you want to be happy for an hour, eat a steak. If you want to be happy for a day, go play golf. If you want to be happy for a week, go on a cruise. If you want to be happy for a month, go buy a new car. But if you want to be happy in your life, just ask yourself one question. If I didn't show up here today, would anybody miss my ass? Because then you know you accomplished something of significance. And I always relate this back to, if you could just be the best you can be. And I always relate this because this is said the best, and I'm paraphrasing this. Martin Luther King, this must have been 60, 70 years ago, gave a speech about the street sweeper. But he started out saying, there's a shoe shine guy in Montgomery, Alabama at the green stamp store who, the only guy I'll let shine my shoes, because the pride and performance that guy has in shining your shoes, and the great feeling he has when you tell him he did a good job. And then he goes on to say, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper in the world. Sweep the streets like Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel, like Shakespeare wrote literature. Let him post a sign that says the best street sweeper in the world lives right here. Because if you do that, you accomplish the best there is in life, which is knowing you did your best to be the best you could be, no matter what you choose to do. Now, to me, that says it all. That says it as well as you can say it. Now, the challenge is that's not natural. That's not normal. What I said before, human nature is to be what? Just to survive. It's not to win the championship. It's not to be special. It's not to have the best business. It's just to do good enough. So that's a challenge that we all have.
You know, these guys sort of they all think they have this illusion of choice. Like, I can do whatever I want to do. And we kind of have a younger generation now that doesn't always get told no. They don't always get told this is exactly how you need to do it. So they have this illusion that they have all these choices. But the fact of the matter is if you want to be good, you really don't have a lot of choices, because it takes what it takes. You have to do what you have to do to be successful. So you have to make the choices and decisions to have the discipline and the focus to the process of what you need to do to accomplish your goals. And all these guys that think they have a lot of choices are really, sort of sadly mistaken. And I think, as we all have done with our own children, they learn these lessons of life as they get older. And sometimes the best way to learn is from the mistakes that you make, even though we all hate to see them have to make them. And we don't really condone it when they do. I'd always sort of been one of these guys that was a rah-rah, emotional, inspirational kind of a guy to get the team ready to play. And there's probably one really memorable game that sort of almost changed the whole dynamics of the psychological approach that we use to motivate teams. And it happened when we played Ohio State in 1998. And they had been number one all the way through. We were 4-5, not a very good team, and we won that game. And we decided to use the approach that we were not going to focus on the outcome, that we were just going to focus on the process of what it took to play the best football you could play, which was to focus on that particular play like it had a history and a life of its own. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at any other external factors. Just all your focus, all your concentration, all your effort, all your toughness, all your discipline to execute went into that particular play. And regardless of what happened on that play, success or failure, you would move on to the next play and have the same focus to do that on the next play. And that you would do that for 60 minutes in the game. And then you would be able to live with the results regardless of what those results were.
Fight, victory benefits you. Hey guys, that's a great win. It's a tremendous job by everybody on this football team, getting ready for the game, preparing well, staying focused, not getting caught up, and going out and executing, doing a tremendous job on offense. Defense played great for a long time, lost a little bit in the end. Everybody did a great job, guys.
If you look at our record from that time on, since we sort of changed our approach. This is the end of the 98 season. 99 was a pretty good year. LSU, we had some pretty good years. And so I think that I've convinced myself through the years that the process-oriented approach is much, much better. And it's much better for competitors because it keeps them focusing on the right things, not the results, but what it takes to get the results.